Chapter 12.4 Volumes of Prisms and Cylinders. The volume of a prism would be base times height. So it's the area of the base times the height of the prism. So looking at this first example, our base is a triangle. We have a triangle on the front here and a triangle on the back. So the volume would be base times height. The formula for the base of a triangle is 1/2 base times height times the height of the whole entire prism. So volume would be 1/2. The base of the triangle is 10. The height of the triangle is 12. The height of the entire prism is 25. So volume equals 1/2 times 10 times 12 times 25, which would give us that the volume is 1,500 centimeters cubed. The base on the next example is also a triangle. We have 18 inches as one of the legs. We need to find the bottom leg here, which is denoted by A, and we know the length of the hypotenuse is 30 inches. So we would have A squared plus 18 squared equals 30 squared. So A squared would equal 30 squared minus 18 squared. So A squared would be 576, which would give us that A is equal to plus or minus 24. So the volume is the area of the base times the height of the prism. The formula for the area of this base would be 1/2 base times height times the height of the entire prism. So volume equals 1/2. The length of the base we just calculated was 24. The height of the triangle is 18. The height of the prism is 15. Putting that into our calculator, we would get the volume is equal to 3,240 inches cubed. We have the same formula for the volume of a cylinder. For this, the volume would be base times height. Again, the height of the entire cylinder times the area of the base of the cylinder, which is a circle. Looking at the first example, we have that the radius is 1.8 centimeters and that the height is 1.8 centimeters. So volume equals base times height. The area of the base, the formula for that would be pi r squared times the height of the cylinder. So the volume equals pi times 1.8 squared times the height, which is 1.8. So the volume would be 5.832 pi centimeters cubed, which is 18.3 centimeters cubed. For this example, the radius is 8, the height is 5, volume equals base times height. The volume would equal pi r squared is the formula for the area of the base times the height of the cylinder. So the volume equals pi 8 squared times 5. So the volume is 320 pi centimeters cubed, which is approximately 1,005.3 centimeters cubed. Using the volume formula, it doesn't matter if we have an oblique prism or a prism that's a right prism. Whichever way we look at it, we're going to look at the height as from the top of the prism to where the prism sits. If it's leaning, it'd be one that's the closest to where it leans toward. So this would be the height. So looking at the first example, this would be the height. So the height is 25 and the radius is 15. So volume would equal base times height. Volume equals pi r squared times height. Volume equals 15 squared times 25. So the volume is 5,625 pi feet cubed, which is approximately 17,671.5 feet cubed. Looking at the last example, we have that the radius is 11, the height of the cylinder, the oblique cylinder, is 44, volume equals base times height, volume equals pi r squared times the height, volume equals pi times 11 squared times 44. So the volume is 5,324 pi centimeters cubed, which is approximately 16,725.8 centimeters cubed. And that concludes lesson 12. And that concludes our lesson 12.4.